So, we begin this part with the flashback. Whoa, Bakugou, your quirk's awesome! You're gonna be a great hero! As he's congratulated, however, the one person that Bakugou sees the approval of in that moment was Izuku, who he noticed was running out of class. Hey, Deku! He runs out after him and they end up outside. Hey, wait, I have my quirk too. What's wrong with you? You've been quiet. Leave me alone. As he turns to face him, Deku had tears running down his eyes as he tried to wipe them, and Akatsuki approaches him worried when he's then told to stay away. Don't come near me. I don't care. We then return to present, where Deku once again had told Bakugou Katsuki, that I don't have a quirk. The doctor called it a genetic mutation. I literally feed on my negative emotions. Eventually I got over that, but by then I lost my best friend. Kai-chan? Don't fucking call me that. As he charges at him, Deku weaves a blast when he's then grabbed by the collar and thrown to the floor. You lied to me! What, you thought I couldn't handle it? He punches him and then punches him again. Answer me! I felt like a freak, don't you get it? I was scared of myself. Pushing him into the air, Deku leaps after him, throwing a kick Bakugou blocks. Stop holding back! Shut up. As he punches, Bakugou throws an explosion and the colliding forces cancel out one another as they begin to fall and they keep their eyes locked, but the moment they land, they go into a full fist fight. No powers, just physically and no technique at all, taking each hit and returning one without fail until they're struck in the jaw at the same time and then fall to the ground. I'm sorry, I should have told you. You should have stuck. I should have stuck to you like glue. Fuck. The quirk you got, All Might. You suck. You suck, replies Deku. In a groan, both force themselves up right as All Might arrives on the scene, worried, but he then sees them just dab each other up. Mydoria, Katsuki, All Might. As they realize he's here, now Deku has to let the cat out of the bag. And Deku tells All Might and both of them extreme details as to how cursed energy actually works. But then they understand why he used to have such a complex about it. The three sit on nearby steps somewhere in ground beta, and Katsuki asks, how'd you get past it? Deku's silence is enough to tell them that he's still dealing with it, but he says, Class 1A is one of the reasons. The other, a sense of responsibility. I thought, at least I'm strong. Yeah. What happened to your technique then? It has embers of one for all, which I can still reactivate. The Shikigami keep their quirks, but I have an evolved version of the quirk now. As he makes the sign of the rabbit, he's covered by shadows that dissipate, leaving behind Mydoria, who has bunny ears. Suddenly, he then splits into two, and then it happens again and again until there's 5 of him. Just little tweaks. I can use the form of the summons and whatever version of one for all they can. I never told you, did I? No! You can use the quirks of the past users. I thought you were just... Oh, I'm a terrible mentor. Both the boys say no, he's not, and Deku says he just wanted to make sure that he sorted out things first. But considering how much I've already said, it's fine if I just say everything else, right? In the following days, the new internship period involves Deku, and other students obviously, choosing heroes they seriously want to learn experience from. Things are different now, this is straight action. But Deku and Bakugou are suspended for 3 days each. But the day right after this incident, 1A runs about through the dorm getting ready and making sure each of them are good, but while doing so, they notice something. Dude, you guys are talking? Asked Sarah. This is so weird, Kaminari follows up. While they have been picking up trash and such, the two have been having bits of small talk. They're still not used to being open with each other in the same way as before. You got a problem with that? Calm down, Kao-chan. Don't tell me to calm down. Stop missing that spot. They've come so far. Oh my god, this is adorable actually. You guys are gonna be late, says Deku. Oh yeah, right, says Ida. Come on everybody. They get ready and then go to school, and everyone tries to fill them in on what they miss out on until eventually they return to class. The change to another internship would finally take effect. This leads to Miro meeting Deku again with All Might the very same day after he gets off of house arrest and he just came back from school. Not that I mind, but why is he here? I'm not hiding things anymore, says Deku. I think it's better this way. Yeah, I'm part of the squad. Happy to be here. Why do I feel like he's eyeing me down? Asks Miro. Deku says he's actually just trying to be attentive, and Miro realizes how alike Bakugou and Tamajiki are. That's the guy who's extremely nervous about everything but can like eat food and copy their quirks in case anyone forgot, because I definitely forget his name sometimes. I just call him Sun Eater because that sounds cooler. So, for this internship, Mydoria will be heading to Night Eyes. I just want you to help him out. Of course, I mean, how well do you do with stern authority figures? He'll be fine. I'll take your word for it. Also, I've heard from All Might about what has changed in One for All. About the... God damn it, Deku. I didn't even say anything yet. One for All has become too alike to a technique. And techniques are extremely genetic and various. What's your point? The only way I would be able to pass it on now is through my genes, aka my own child. Wow. Yeah. That is so... You know what? Make good choices. I intend to do that. That's not the point here. There's something called a binding vow. I give and take. It can essentially do anything if it has to do with cursed energy, or anything that comes in contact with it. What, like putting a limit on yourself for an advantage on something else? Asked Katsuki. Yeah, that's the binding vow I made. I can't pass on One for All, but in exchange, it can also never be stolen. Can you revoke it? Asked All Might. Of course I can. Then why did you scare us like that? Scare you? Oh. I feel offended. Shut up, shouts Katsuki. The upcoming weekend, everyone is either heading to their internships or deciding on it, or just chilling. Deku runs out to Night Eye's agency on Saturday. He arrives 20 minutes later and takes the elevator to the top floor, where he is directed to the hero's office. Come on in. The door creaks open as Deku sees Night Eye and Bubble Girl. Oh, it's you. Welcome. Izuku, right? That suit is extremely impractical, says Deku. Yeah, you really are straightforward. Sorry, bad habit. It's an honor. As he bows, he looks at Night Eye, who stays silent before telling Bubble Girl to leave. As she does, the hero stands, asking for Izuku's check-in sheet. He is promptly handed it and would then bring out a stamp. You have to prove yourself. Prove you're worthy, Izuku Midoriya. Is it because Miro was supposed to take my place? As his master and teacher, I cannot deny I feel a bit bitter, but no. As the one who holds such power, you must be held to a higher standard, lest you lag behind and become complacent. Earn your place here, ninth. Fair enough. What's the task? Take this stamp from me. Dropping his backpack, Izuku would make a hand sign. Will's unknown abyss. As he gains antlers, this time he also gains fur and the snout of a deer. Night Eye blinks, showing different eyes, and yet for some reason, I can't see anything. With a dash, Deku flashes past him, landing parallel to the window behind with enough delicate control that he doesn't crack it. Night Eye would then look back and be reminded of Gran Torino as he smiles. Seems I underestimated you. Well, I am 15. I use it to my advantage. Night Eye would then sign the sheet and Mydoria is accepted. A few hours later, Mirio arrives and they're sent on patrol. I feel like I said that really weird. Patrol. From the skies, Niue keeps a lookout and he shouts to Izuku, no signs yet. Copy. Go south. As he nods and heads off, from Deku's shadow run out 4 rabbits that spread to the alleyways they just walked by. Your quirk is so amazing, Midoriya. It's like having your own sidekicks. Thank you. They're definitely... He's then suddenly surprised as he turns to his right. He noticed the presence, and Eri runs out, following one of his rabbits. She's hurt, says the rabbit. Lemillion would then kneel down and check on her while Deku watches as Chisaki walks out. Yuri, I told you to stay in and don't leave my sight. Remember? Oh, hello, sir. Is this your daughter? As they talk, we go to Night Eye, who listens in on the conversation through his radio. They found him. Thanks, Bubble Girl. Night Eye would then urge that they head for them right now by following a rabbit that they took with them. This is how they keep communication, by the way. Deku's smart about that. Chisaki then says that he'll be taking his daughter back, but Deku says that's not happening. Sir, you're under suspicion of committing child abuse. The whole time you've been talking, your daughter's been shivering and wincing in pain, crying. You seem more preoccupied with just taking her. Chisaki's tone changes. Do you even have any idea what you're doing, kid? Deku, just wait. I do, says Deku. I own a provisional license and I am under a hero, but aside from that, it'd be illogical to trust someone as suspicious as you. Little girl. As he kneels down to her, he wipes her tears. Come on. We're leaving. Kids, you're crossing the line. Lemillion would then catch up with him, asking if he's sure about this, because they're literally leaving, just walking away from him, and Deku just scooped her up. And just then Eri whispers that he should let her go. He'll hurt you. Both of you, relax, says Deku. He then loudly tells Lemillion to call the police. If this girl really is your daughter, then you'll have no problem proving it by visiting our agency. If you want Eri back, convince me. You heroes. Yeah, us heroes. We suck. But I should warn you, I won't be affected by your quirk. So come pick up Eri. If you're her father, that should be the minimum. Eri is taken into custody by the heroes and brought under protection. What were you thinking? Asked Night Eye. Explain yourself. Lemillion and Deku stand before him as Bubble Girl feels bad to see the situation out at all, because this was kind of working out, but then Deku did what Deku does, and Deku says, I didn't just act impulsively. I have a plan in motion as we speak, sir. This surprises everyone as the hero would then ask, what exactly is your plan? Because you're taking on a lot of responsibility. Responsibility a kid will be crushed under. Her life is in your hands. Well, yours is in mine. Both of yours now. Mr. Bruce. As he kneels down, Deku begins an incantation as from his shadow slowly stands a figure shrouded in light and yet held together by energy. Who is that? Asked Bubble Girl. Night Eye becomes silent as he asks her to step out for a minute. Oh, they're in his office, by the way. And she's of course skeptical and feels excluded but just exits. When she does, Night Eye would stand and say, hello, third user. It's an honor. To truly see this shocks Mirio, and then he realizes, no. Yes. But that's extremely dangerous. What is? Asked Night Eye. Mydoria can enter people's shadows, and well, he must have had Mr. Bruce enter Chisaki's and spy on them. And I took a few pictures, says Bruce. Definitely risky, but no worries. I kept the flash off. Now we have undeniable proof of Chisaki's wrongdoings, and under the power of the law itself, we can have him constrained, and if he resists, then we can storm his castle. I'm impressed. Thank you. How about next time you fill us in on your grand plan? Maybe? Apologies, won't happen again. But some part of me, it can accept letting her go back. Mydoria. That's very unlike you. Yeah, I know, shut up, says Deku. Well, we need to actually get to work to bring him in, says Night Eye. We need to find out more about this drug operation of his. Yes, sir. Now, 1 week later, we find Chisaki just losing his mind, screaming at the top of his lungs as he throws paper forms, like a bunch of important things, on the ground just casually. And he had been warned that if he doesn't turn himself in, because now they have evidence, then his home will be taken by force, as will his comrades to be taken to prison after he goes first, obviously, because he's the ringleader. They think I'm just gonna go down that easily. These goddamn heroes are a disease. Meanwhile, in Class 1A, the toll of internship starts to show physically, as some in the class have bandages, band-aids, bruises. I'm starting to think it's just fun for them, says Todoroki. Izuku asks, what is? Watching interns fumble. Maybe you're just weak, icy hot. That was rude, says Todoroki. You guys want me to heal you? Like, all of you? As they all collectively say no, he's surprised, saying that he thought that they would ask the opposite right away. And Uraka says, well, we can't keep relying on your... As the room is shrouded in light particles, all their cuts and bruises heal. It's illogical. It's better that you're at your best. Aw, you big softy. I'm not. Yeah, you are. At least you're becoming one. That's a step somewhere. Hours later, Mydoria and Miro go to see Eri, who is physically healed but needs some time to mentally heal, which will take years. But Deku found a way to speed that up though, as he gives her one of his many endless rabbits he can summon. She snuggles up against it in her bed. She's pretty shy, so be careful. Okay. How does she talk? I just do. She just does. She's fluffy. While she's distracted, Deku catches in the corner of his eye Aizawa calling to him from outside. He heads out and shuts the door. Problem? Tomorrow the raid is taking place. Mydoria would turn serious as he nods. Chisaki Compound, 7:30 a.m. Heroes and police gather outside the gate readying themselves. You nervous, Mydoria? Asked Kirishima. I assume you're asking that because you are. Hell yeah, but I'm also excited. And just focus on that. I also asked because of your hand. As he looks down, Mydoria shows us his clenched fist shivering. Thanks for asking. I'll be better after we kick his teeth in. Agreed. After they're set and the leading police officer heads to the gate and speaks to like the intercom, is that what you call it? He's about to like ask for like the criminals to hand themselves over when suddenly the gates crack open and flooding out a massive blast of gas releases, blinding them all and leaving them coughing. Ryukyu transforms, flapping her massive wings to blow it all away when from the top of the Hisaikai house someone flies out. It's him, shouts Fat Gum. With makeshift wings on his back, he pierces the air, only looking at them for a moment, looking back at the heroes for a moment, and then looking ahead as his speed increases. Mirio runs out of the crowd of heroes when he saw all of them, well, some of them start to fall, and then another and another and another. It was the poison. Don't breathe it in, shouts Night-Eye. Some actually didn't, but now with the gate being fully open, a hulking giant throws a punch at Ryukyu, who become too weakened from slightly breathing in the gas. But right before she struck, the massive arm is knocked away as Deku appears before the dragon, having obviously blocked this. Moving like a blur, what seemed like a tiger runs along the body of the gangster, striking with such force that it crashes onto the floor. No. With a leap, Mydoria transforms quickly, catching up to Chisaki as he grabs him by the leg. Let me go! Okay. He swings Chisaki down and chases after him, flapping his wings and then slamming them into his stomach. Ah! People like you are no longer a match for me. Chisaki struggles to obviously fight back regardless, as his mutated flesh fires forward as whips covered in thorns. Whilst backing up, Mydoria swings his wings, focusing the force to shred through Chisaki's attacks and slice into his body multiple times while perfectly avoiding him. Leave Eri alone. You don't understand what that girl is. You just gave me my answer. That's exactly all she is. A scared little girl who wants nothing to do with you. Oh, you think denying what she did makes it alright, huh? She can never have a normal life. Neither can you. Or I. But surprisingly, she's the answer to the question. I will cure all of you. Using her. All you heroes of this disease. The ability to rewind, says Deku. Usually I'd say something like, that's illogical, and she could help a lot of people. You're right, she could. But guess what? People don't choose how they come into this world. Pulling back his claw, he moves, reappearing behind Chisaki as he leaves his sight. He never even noticed he moved. His body then explodes with blood, and there are cuts so deep they would never fully heal. And the most important cut is the one done to his hands. So the virtue we all get to have is to choose how we live our lives. You're not a cure, you're the disease. As Chisaki plummets, another Deku catches him and puts a thumbs up. However, it also had a new waveform. Hitting his earpiece, Mydoria told Night-Eye, He's been neutralized. Good, we're moving in. Bring him to the main gate. Copy that. Alright, so you might be a bit confused about what I just said about the other Deku, so let me clear it up. Niue has Fa Jin. Morning Tiger has Danger Sense. Orochi has Mist. Kon has Stockpile. But while they're split, White Hound has the stronger durability, while Black has insane speed. And when they combine, they get all like the strength like that One for All gives, you know? Gamma has Black Whip. Max Elephant has Float. Ox has Gear Shift. The other Shikigami, well, they just are, you know? Madoka heals, Rabbit confuses and multiplies endlessly. However, Mahoraga is the defining factor in the equation, as his adaptation has allowed any of those abilities to be stacked, and they can be switched to any other Shikigami. They can even be applied to other people. So Deku can, for example, use a Niue transformation and apply the ability to duplicate from Rabbit, but Mahoraga has also more of a special connection in this, specifically to Deku and his shadows. I'll go on about that later. I feel offended that I haven't used it enough, but I'll be sure to like cover that more, especially during the war arc. Well, not really a war arc. That shit took like 30 minutes in real time. That fight was short as fuck, but you get the point. Alright. The hideout was raided, the gang was stopped, and the leader was recovered and healed by Mydoria, even though he really did not want to. Like, he legit shredded his fucking hands apart, but they said, nah, you can't do that. So, 2 days later, we have a festival coming up, says Aizawa. Another one? Exclaims the class. We're seriously gonna do another one of those? Yeah, the villains have really been focusing on us a lot, says Momo. You don't have a choice. You guys stole the spotlight for every event thus far. Now they're kind of guilty. Well, almost all of them. Bakugou and Deku don't give a fuck. So what? As both of them say this in unison, Sero says, whoa. Now that was weird. Nothing weird about it. Mineta says, denial at its finest. We shouldn't have to feel guilty for facing death, which we didn't invite, says Deku. Those bastards can go screw themselves. Everyone can't really disagree. It's almost like they're being hated for just living and doing as they're told. I understand your anger, but as I've told you since the beginning, heroes combat unfairness. However you choose to go about this, I will be on your side. But I better not hear something crazy, alright? Yes, Sensei. When class ends and everyone is heading back to the dorms, they kind of notice the eyes following them. It's creepy. Wow, they're intense, says Uraraka. Everyone has their own story. It doesn't justify anything, says Midoriya. Yeah, but I can't help but feel guilty, says Kirishima. Well, we really did steal the spotlight. Not our fault. We all began at the entrance exams. We were all given a fair chance. They're allowed to be bitter, but you're allowed to hold your head high. You're just strong. That's all. Todoroki says, I agree. Why would I give a damn about some extras? Man, I'm revved up. We're gonna destroy this. Actually, yeah, let's get fired up. We're gonna be awesome. Who cares what they think? When they get back, they start to gather some ideas and land on a concert, which was being led by Jiro, because she got that voice, you feel me? Everyone got some position and began to work on concepts and a performance. Other classes did the same, and in between the week, they still got to go to the work study. They had to, actually. Eri even visits and is shown about to what everyone else is doing and what it's like inside UA. She also gets a caramel apple. Not a big deal, but you know, that scene was adorable. So, the day of the festival. Midoriya is huffing as he's running back to school. He was getting some supplies when he almost bumps into someone, and he moves out of the way just in time. Sorry, sir. Oh shit, thinks LaBrava. Why him? Gento recognizes the young man as well, and he tries to divert the conversation. And Midoriya, upon noticing the little tea shop on the side, says the same thing that he did in the original, because Momo like fed them some fancy tea, you know what I'm saying? And this makes Gento interested, and he forces himself into a conversation, but then his voice becomes recognizable. Wait a minute, that voice. Take off your hoods, please, both of you. Huh? Is something wrong, young man? Very much so. Take off your hoods. With the flick of his finger, he throws a wave of wind their way, unmasking the two, as Midoriya quickly explodes with red lightning. So you want to invade the academy? La Brava, let us change the itinerary. No matter what, do not stop rolling. You got it, Gentle. As she holds up the camera she had in her back pocket, as if shooting a documentary, he would pose and introduce himself like he was just doing another video. I can't believe you're actually this tacky in real life. How did you even come across my channel, young man? Call it coincidence or fate, it doesn't matter. This stops here. He moves forward quickly, but feels something stop him as his face is squished and he digs in his feet to stop it from pushing him back. You see, I quite dislike violence. Struggling as he might, Deku is sent flying backwards but pushes off the floor and takes to the sky, holding his arm forward saying, "Discharge it. Knew it." His arm turns to a claw, bursting with electricity that fires a stream of lightning their way, electrocuting them as they become stun-locked before falling over. That's an interesting quirk, but you're not faster than lightning. As he lands, he walks over and pulls out his phone. Yes, Mydoria. I caught 2 people trying to sneak into the academy. I'll send you my location. Right. You're really making a habit out of this. Trust me, I don't go looking for trouble. But nothing is ruining Erie's day. In the end, the concert went well. Deku even spammed some of his rabbits into the crowd, and they added some extra special effects. Especially with Madoka Deer there, like, that shit was cool as hell. It like shined light everywhere. Awesome. Erie really did have a great time, but even greater things were on the horizon for little Erie. As November closes in and reaches its last days, Mydoria returns from internships one day and notices someone talking to Erie. While he talked to her, President Uraraka, Kirishima, Tsuyu, and the Big Three, giving them their space. Mr. Chisaki? The old man notices Mydoria and stands. So it's you, Mydoria, right? Mydoria approaches, shaking his hand right as Erie hugs his leg. Welcome back. So you're taking Erie into custody. I don't think I'm quite fit for the role of provider. One day we'll be taking her in, but I wanted to meet the young man who put everything on the line for my granddaughter. Come on, don't do it, whispers Kirishima. Just take the compliment, Ribbit, thanks to you. It was an honor, sir. Yes! He did it, guys! The group would cheer, alerting the old man who looks at them and then Mydoria, and he asks, did something happen? They're just trying to be funny. I'm so proud of you, Mydoria, shouts Mirio. Yeah, you certainly have good people around you. Yeah, I do. From then on, Erie, living in UA, would continue to commute with her grandpa every once in a while, but going on ahead a few hours later in the day, when the grandfather left, Wane is in the main area sharing some hot cocoa, chatting it up as they wait for some guests. Hey look, Mydoria. Izuku looks at Kaminari, who shows him on his phone a picture someone took of him by the train station. You got fans? No, I have stalkers. Why is that normal to people? I mean, you're not wrong, but like, you're famous. Not worth it. Guys, look presentable. They're here, says Ida. As they head out of their seats, Wane sees the Wild Wild Pussycats walk in, posing with their signature movements and everything, but now they're in civilian clothes, so civilian version Wild Wild Pussycats. That's right, day off version, says Pixie, and we brought snacks. It's so great to see you guys again. Welcome to the dorms. Midoriya then notices Koda and simply looks at him as he approaches. What, you got something to say? Those shoes. Koda freezes, realizing that Izuku sees the shoes that he left at the doorstep, and they're exactly like his. Nice shoes. Yeah, they are. Mandalay approaches saying, isn't it cute? He picked them out himself. And he said, it has to match. No, that's not. Now we match. Not knowing how to defend himself, Koda just bashfully nods. You know, of course, the real reason why the Wild Pussycats are here, though. It's to watch the Japanese hero Billboard charts, which unfortunately will not include All Might this year. The role of #1 goes to Endeavor. Next, he's the next to carry the torch. And he did have a burden to carry because no less than 2 days after this, he faces the threat of a high-end Nomu named Hood. Luckily, he beats it, but with the help of Hawks and a lot of injuries left over. Injuries which were later treated by Recovery Girl and Izuku. Izuku wanted to get rid of the scar he got, but Endeavor said he wanted to keep it as a reminder to himself. And that night, after he healed him and then he Izuku collapses into his bed after an exhausting training session with Katsuki and taking a shower. He falls into his subconscious and he stands and groans, finding himself in the shrine, and there are his summons and all previous users, but also someone new. Is that? Yep, says Nana. We don't understand it either. I mean, Toshi's never been healthier, right? His soul isn't here. Not like them, says Maho. His consciousness isn't here either. It's like a residual, like a footprint waiting to disappear, being kept alive by one for... Mahoraga, you involved the court, but you don't know exactly to what degree, right? Nope. You don't? Asked Banjo. Alright, bind and vow. Still getting used to that. As he approaches the residuals of All Might, Deku says maybe this being here means that All Might is somehow still tied to One for All. He might still have some powers left. Next day, Dagoba Beach. A shockwave rips through the open air, reaching the waves and splitting them as All Might looks at his arm and his body, confused before turning to Deku, who has the same shocked look. I thought it impossible for you to make such an expression. Hey, sorry, but as long as I'm within range, it seems I regain a portion of One for All. Only the physical aspects, so basically everything you had before. Well, this is a positive? Yeah, this is good. Indeed, if push comes to shove, I can always just act as your shield. A human shield. Interesting. I retract that statement, but you, well, were late to school. Deku leaps to the sky, getting the new transformation, shouting, No, we're not. Young Mydoria, you don't have the proper license yet! As he leaps after him, saying he's only allowing this once because they have to attend today's class no matter what. They head off to UA. And because the only reason why All Might said that is because they'll be facing 1B today. Basically, this is the culmination of everything they've learned in this year. And now they're being pitted against each other to see what fruits that effort that they've been putting in has bore for all of them. They all gather in a new part of Ground Genma. Yeah, Genma. Sporting more cold-friendly wear. Man, I'm so excited for this. Hey, Hagakure, you're not cold? Asked Jiro. Totally freezing. Good to know. Mina says, well, I'm loving my winter costume personally. Gachan, what? As he gestures to come over with a serious tone, Katsuki walks over saying that this better be important. Everyone begins to wonder what they're talking about when suddenly a voice intrudes. Hear me, Class 1A. Today's the day we destroy you. I promise. 1B arrives in all its glory as Monoma begins his usual taunts, even bringing up that a survey he did found that their event was actually more entertaining than 1A's for the whole festival thing. Impossible, says Mydoria. We were amazing. Bakugou shouts, who the hell said otherwise, huh? You two are surprisingly passionate today. Another voice enters the fray, this being Aizawa, as he walks up the steps with All Might and King Vlad. Hopefully that carries into this training, says Aizawa. We also have a guest, so treat them with respect, says King Vlad. While everyone is excited about who it is, when they finally arrive, they are indeed very, very surprised to find out that it's Shinso. But that's where I'll be ending off this part for today. No extras. I got y'all next time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, I'm gonna delve more into this type of stuff about 1A. I'm gonna change 1A and 1B, all that. I mean, I'm gonna try to change it in the war arc, but in the end, what matters most is how One for All changes, and I will be making a lot of different alterations to that. As you've seen, One for All will keep growing, and so will the 10 Shadows. And yeah, I hope you look forward to the progress of this story. Peace. I'm gone.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget.